This is Maximum Lawyer with your host, Tyson Mutrux.
And welcome back to Maximum Lawyer. Today, I'm going to be talking about really one thing, but it's based on multiple thoughts and conversations I've had over the last few weeks where I said a few weeks ago how we're only limited right now by our imagination, which is completely true. And so that has kind of led me off onto this journey, building something out for the firm that I'm super excited about, but it's been a lot of work. But also, I posted something in the association yesterday. It was either yesterday or the day before about how it really makes no sense right now, where if the products that you're using are not rapidly updating and upgrading their system, or if they're charging you for every single upgrade, you should get rid of them. You should completely get rid of them. Think about what you are spending right now and what you're actually getting out of it, and do your own assessment. So what I did was I built, we had a failed launch. When it comes to we had done a bunch of updates to our case management system, and I talked about it before, it just failed. So secretly, kind of what I was doing was behind the scenes, I had even told Kashif, our CTO, I went through and just completely built our own system. And what's really incredible about it is that it's exactly what we want. It is not what with Zoho is kind of like we had what we had. We had to accept some things as being what they were. And then we had cobbled together using Zoho Creator. We had built our own thing on top of it, which also had its limitations. And for the most part with this system, we've overcome every one. There's only one that we've not overcome, and that's when it comes to something Amy wants is she wants to be able to deposit straight from the case management system into the bank. And that's just because there's limits on APIs, which is completely understandable when it comes to financial regulations and restrictions. But what I wanted to do today was kind of talk about what I've been able to build, show what I can without, because we've already migrated everything over. That's what's incredible too, is I don't want to pick on any particular company, but I will tell you, when we moved into Filevine originally, the migration process took a really long time. And I've talked to several firms, and maybe it's gotten better. I don't know. I really don't know if it's gotten better or worse at this point, but from at least in past experience, it took a really long time. We were able to migrate everything in a matter of 2 or 3 days, and it was all just doing API calls. It was pretty, I wouldn't say simple. It was not simple, but it was much easier, and it was much faster than really anything else I've ever done. So let me talk a little bit. I built out the dashboard I really wanted. And like I said, I'm going to show you some of the things that I can that don't have client information in them. So I'm going to show you this. This doesn't really show you everything, really much. I have these all collapsed. But in my dashboard, we've got our overview, which has all key numbers on the top of it. Task Hub, which has it's set up in a Kanban board style. We have our target list where this used to live in a separate spreadsheet, and then we'd have on our dashboard, we had the settlement numbers. All of that is now all right here. It's boom, right here. Task reporting right here. And then cases activity. This section has any statute of limitations that are coming up. It has cases that are on hold, which is really cool. Whenever it's on hold, it turns the entire case red, and you can't, the functionality is limited on it, which is intentional. That was by design. And then also have every single thing that's going on with all the files all of that is listed in activity too. Really cool. I wanted to show this to you. I can't open this up because it has, if I showed you the other view, it actually has a list view, but I kept this part open just to show you. It's kind of cool. It shows you any court appearances. It's statute of limitations that are coming up. And actually we do have, it is interesting because there's one that's coming up fairly soon. And then another one that's shortly thereafter that we've got to deal with these two, but it's kind of nice. And then you see these three here, these three red dots. If you're watching, those are all statute of limitations. We have not. I've got to change the filter, so there's some that we've already filed that it doesn't should not be on here. But it also has court appearances, any due filing dates for like deadlines and all that. That would come up on here too. It's kind of a different visual though, so I wanted to show it's a different visual for how to look at different dates. So that was pretty cool. I can go ahead and show you the leads channel because these are all fake leads. So this is all dummy data because we've not launched this yet. The whole idea is to actually launch this by next week. But this is really cool where we got it set up in a Kanban board. You've got, with just a click of a button, you can send the contract. We used to have to drag it when we were in Biggin for Zoho. We had to drag it over and to send. We had a bunch of extra columns that we didn't need, but it's pretty cool. You could drag it. We also have we have internal messaging. If you want to communicate directly with the lead, you can do that here. You've got estimated value of the case. It shows the contact status, which is really, really cool. Those were all done in columns before. Now we have all of that done inside of here. So this is, it's for a micro intake. We get the basic information and then we try to get the contract sent out. So it's pretty nice, but then I'm going to have to stop sharing because then it starts getting into the actual matters, but I am still going to talk about it a little bit. So, what was really awesome about this is that I told everyone, I said, give me one wish list item. Like it's like the number one thing that you'd want in a case management system. It was really kind of interesting. The initial responses were very boring and lame, and is because they were in that thinking we are limited in what we can do because of how we've always been limited in the past. It was really interesting how everyone had been trained mentally to say, oh, well, there's these limits, so I can't really have that. And so I did tell everybody, no, here, I want you to really think like, what is it? Like, this is anything you could have, like really anything you could have. And that's where we got some really massive breakthroughs. Really just incredible. Update that I made last night where we now have an AI assistant. This is something I was texting with Jeremy Danielson about it. I was telling about it, but we have just a built-in chat assistant it's AI. Just imagine we're using Gemini, but imagine you have Claude or Gemini just right there on your screen. It hovers. And let me pull up a dummy case. And then so for anyone that is actually watching this, you can see what I'm talking about because this is really handy. So this is really cool. We've got this feature right here where it just hovers. It's here, or you can also access it up here in this little button. That little AI button, the AI emoji that you might recognize. And it's just a simple, you click it, it opens, and you can have access. So you can see where I was testing it last night, and we're doing what's called, I'll show you kind of the back end. This even has the admin console, so it's got the back end. So the RAG embedding backfill. So that's got to finish before it'll actually give it all the context it needs to actually do the actual work, answering the questions and everything. So let me stop sharing and come back over into that actual matter so that I can share with you again, because otherwise I just can't reveal client information, as you imagine. But so we got this AI field here. Something else. So someone had suggested, hey, I would love a chat feature where you can just chat about the case. And I'll talk about chat in a second because like there's another part of this that's pretty cool too. I think all of this is really, really cool. This is all just done basically imagination. So you start your first thread. This is a test. Okay, boom. And what can happen? Oh, I got to put a title, test thread. And what's great is boom. And now you can write a reply to it. Test reply. Boom. That's in there. So you can actually message about a specific issue, matter. So this will all stay in the chat. It's different from the notes section. Notes is different. And you can pin this or you can resolve it. So let's say this is a resolved issue. Now it's boom, you can hide it. So if there's an ongoing conversation about something, that's the focus. Anything else that's been resolved, it's been resolved. It goes into a separate section. That came from the team. That's something that came from the team. Trial mode. So this is it. This opens. So it opens a separate dashboard, takes you down. It gives you a different set of tasks, and it tells you basically your progress on this case as to how ready you are for trial. Really, really handy. This is really cool, in my opinion. You can analyze readiness with AI. This is not going to do anything just because this is a fake case and there's no data in it. For those of you watching it, it's saying it's analyzing trial readiness. It's either going to say doesn't have enough data or you're not ready for trial because none of the tasks have been completed and there's not a lot of data in here. So analysis failed, no assessment returned from AI. That's just because there's nothing. There's nothing in there. I don't even think we have a fake trial. Yeah, we have a fake trial data in there. But so that was really cool. Conversation with Brooks Derrick led us to do this, where we've got there's something called big data, small data. It's kind of circulates in the personal injury world, but we built this out with AI. You can create basically mock juries. You can do focus groups all inside of here, test those out. In jury selection, we built this tool out. So this part is really cool too. I think some of you might really like this one, but you can, let's keep her, let's strike him, things like that. That's really good. And then we also have case strategy. So we got, you got a juror attitude map. You've got the safety rule violation. These are all just different themes and effectiveness, for it's a matrix setup, which is really, really cool. And then you've got some AI strategic recommendations at the bottom here. So this is all really neat. That was based on a conversation with Brooks Derrick, and it was really cool. It's something we were able to implement pretty quickly. This area right here, this party information button, that's something from the team. The team wanted where you just quickly identify the defendant in a case, the attorney, and you can click on them, and it'll actually show their contact information too, which is really neat. DocGen is built out here. So any document that you want access to, you can click it, generate it, boom. It's got it. That's something a little bit different than what I've seen in other platforms. You can communicate here. You can send text messages to the clients, email, send faxes. You can send actual physical mail. This was also something that we had from the team. We send physical mail. We don't print them out in the office like a lot of firms do. Because we try to reduce how much we actually send out mail. So we built in this mail form configuration using the API where we can send a letter to clients directly inside of here, which is also really neat. I will see if I can show you in the mailroom some things. I just want to make sure there's nothing in there, but mailroom is another part that I'm going to show you, which is really, really cool. I wish there was more information in here so you could see, but this is actually it's like a spider web where it shows you all of the different parties, the relation to different parties. It is really neat. This was also an idea from the team. That's where that one originated. Let's see what else is kind of cool. So you can can see, our client check-in calls, all of those are done here inside of this. Our milestone calls, case reviews, emails directly inside of here. We got our liability section. Oh, this part's really, really cool. So weather data. This is whenever a file is opened, weather data will automatically go into the file. But we built something else into it too. So let's say the data is not in here. Let's say that when this was open, there was no weather data. You can fetch the weather data. Let's say this was just 65203. Fetch the weather data for the date of the incident. And it automatically will grab the weather and you can apply it to the case, which is super cool. You can also order through NOAA. You can order a certified copy of the weather report, that's something we can use in litigation. That part is also extremely helpful. That was definitely on the wish list. Negotiation, you got this waterfall chart that shows offers and negotiations. This is for like the settlement calculator, just quick math is what this one's for, because we do some more advanced things here. So this is for our reductions team. But for settlements, you've got this settlement questionnaire, but then you have this settlement calculator that actually configures the settlement based on the Missouri lien statute. And you have this little checklist just to make sure that everything is done properly. Really, really handy. We have the BPN, this is a way, this is the Buffett paradigm number that we use to come up with really an objective number that what we think the case is worth. So we plug in these numbers and it spits out a number. If the offer is above the Buffett number, our advice is to accept it. If it's below, our advice is to try the case. Then we have this little approved by attorney, and it actually has the timestamp there, you can see, which is really, really handy. See if there's anything else that is super cool in this area. There's lots of cool things that are in this area. So the matter activity, you actually have notes, text, system logs. So everything in the system, everything that's done on this, it'll actually show inside of I'm talking everything. So that's why we call it, it's a system log. So it actually has everything, which is really, really handy. So I'm going to stop sharing, and then I'm going to go into the mailroom and show you what I can show you. So let's see. Just make sure there's no client names on any of these things. Okay, very good. All right, so we are good to share this because we've got real data in it now, and we got to make sure that it's good to share. Okay, so you actually click on these faxes. I can't show you the faxes because these are real settlement releases that I faxed into this mailbox just to make sure it worked properly. But you can click on this view button here to view it. You can download it. Really awesome. Communications, you can text, email. This is like the more generic inbox. So you can actually send text and receive text. This is the part where I want to double check. So Earth class mail, it's showing some old data because we had it pull in the old data intentionally. It will not, because we've already deleted those, you're not going to be able to see the actual physical document, but we use Earth class mail. So mail comes in and we can actually view the scan whenever it's not an old one that's been deleted in archive. You can archive it, you can move it, you can ship it you can actually have it shipped here. See, this one's already, you can see it's already been shredded. It's been scanned, shredded. It actually shows us all this information. It's just incredible that we can send that or see that inside of our system, and we can actually move it to a file, that's the move to matter. Send mail, this is mail form. Again, you can send it from inside of the system, the mailbox. Okay, some other things. I can't show you. This one I can show you. So this is actual AI usage analytics. So this is not been hooked up yet, just because we're not officially running on this system yet. This will be really simple for Kashif, just to turn it on, and then we'll actually be able to see, okay, what's this actually costing us from an AI usage standpoint for the firm? That way we can help monitor that and keep the costs regulated. This part is, I think, really awesome. You have all of the stuff is you got to just, I don't have to go into Bolt to have it fixed. It's just a matter of just going into the admin portal and fixing things. So statute of limitations rules. This has a statute of limitations for every state based on their statute. Was excellent, super, super cool. I can, manage the task management, pick list, the different templates, the actual task flow editor, I can manage the users, different integrations, just really helpful. Got the reporting here. Can't show you that. Cannot show you the contacts because it actually has all the contacts. What I can show you is this is the chat feature that is going to replace Click, which is what we use instead of Slack. But this is a will be a full built out chat feature, which we can actually, I'll show you a text. Amy and I were just texting each other just to test it out, just to make sure it works. And so you can see test. So this is a test. Oh, TESD, spelled that wrong. But you've got instant messaging built in directly into the system itself. But really, and I think what I'll probably do is tell you how I developed this, because that's kind of what I wanted to do today, but I'll probably have to do that next week, because I want to go through what the process was like, because much of the legwork had already been done. I couldn't have done it. This was all done in about 3 weeks, and it's fully operational. It's ready to go. As soon as we flip the switch, it's completely ready to go. The legwork was done when we were building out the old case management system. It was all done and ready to go. So I was able to take all of my wish lists from before and build those in. And then I went back to the team, said, hey, give me like your number one thing, which was what I already talked about, and was able to do what I just showed you. It is way better than any case management system I've ever had. It is, the setup is way better. And it was a matter of really using a combination of Claude, Cowork, and Bolt, and having those two work together, me giving a prompt to Claude then planning it out, and then building out really detailed prompts, which then launch into Bolt, and then Bolt builds it out. And there's lots of tweaks that we used throughout. And sometimes you'd have little things that break and you'd have to go back and fix it. That part can get kind of frustrating, but we really minimize that by using the combination of Cowork and Bolt. Really incredible. And I'll talk more about, get more into the process next week, but I wanted to show people kind of what is possible. And I even think that, what I showed you it's not even close to where it's going to be. It is not even remotely close. I haven't even shown you the case tracker and how the automations work and how a lot of the AI works when it comes to being built into it. I haven't even shown you that stuff. And that's, I think that's probably the more exciting stuff, but at least kind of dipping the toe in the water to show you this stuff. I think it's pretty cool, but that's all I have for you this week. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I know that if you were listening to this, I'm sorry, it probably wasn't as good for you, but those of you in the association that are watching this, or if you're watching this on YouTube, hopefully you got something from this. But that's all I have from you this week. Make sure you check out beccaslist.co. Go to maxlawcon.com for maxlawcon tickets. Those are on sale. It's really important that you get those now because the window closes again. So make sure you get those now, because I can't stress it enough. People were messaging me last time, hey, I didn't get the tickets in time. The window closes. Okay. So make sure you get those tickets on.com. We will see you in Atlanta. See you, buddy.